Welcome to Safe Haven Radio. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm truly grateful that you've chosen to spend this time exploring the fascinating world of neuroscience and mental wellness with me. Today, we're diving into something truly remarkable: how our brains possess an incredible ability to heal and reorganize themselves, even after years of struggling with mental health challenges. Many of you watching may be dealing with persistent anxiety, depression, or overwhelming stress that seems to control your daily life. I want you to know that you're not alone, and more importantly, there's real hope grounded in cutting-edge scientific research. Recent breakthroughs in neuroscience have revealed that our brains can literally rewire themselves for better mental health, regardless of how long we've been suffering. Today's evidence will show you exactly how this works and what you can do about it. Before we begin, I want to set realistic expectations. While the research we'll discuss is incredibly promising, everyone's journey is unique, and professional support may be necessary for some. What's most important is that you take things at your own pace, without pressure or judgment. Remember, small steps forward are still meaningful progress. This video is meant to provide scientifically backed information and practical tools, but it's not a replacement for professional mental health care when that's what you need. The reason I chose this topic today is because mental health challenges affect millions of people worldwide, yet many don't realize just how much power they have to influence their own brain's healing processes. A comprehensive review of the latest research shows that we're living in an exciting time where neuroscience and technology are converging to create more effective treatments than ever before. Let's explore this together, with compassion for ourselves and recognition that healing is a journey, not a destination. Now, let's dive into the scientific evidence that's transforming how we understand mental health recovery. A major research institution recently completed a groundbreaking meta-analysis in 2025, examining 26 randomized controlled trials with over 6,000 participants. What they found was remarkable. Digital mental health interventions demonstrated significant improvements in depression and anxiety symptoms, with moderate effect sizes of 0.43. This might sound like just a number, but in practical terms, it means that these interventions can make a meaningful difference in people's daily lives. What's particularly fascinating is what an international research team discovered about neuroplasticity, our brain's ability to reorganize itself. They found that specific interventions can actually activate the brain's natural healing mechanisms. Through advanced neuroimaging studies, researchers have observed measurable increases in hippocampal gray matter volume following treatment. The hippocampus is crucial for memory and emotional regulation, so when it grows stronger, we become more resilient to stress and better able to manage our emotions. Perhaps one of the most encouraging findings comes from research on cognitive behavioral therapy. Scientists have discovered that successful CBT actually normalizes excessive neural reactivity in the amygdala, often called the brain's fear center. When treatment works, they can see the changes directly in brain scans, with improvements correlating directly with how much better people feel. It's not just in your head in the dismissive sense, it's literally changing your head in measurable, beneficial ways. A comprehensive systematic review found something else remarkable. When we combine digital technology with traditional therapeutic approaches, treatment effectiveness can be enhanced by up to 40% compared to standard care alone. Research using repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation, which targets deep brain regions, showed significant depression reduction in 65% of people who hadn't responded to other treatments. Multiple research institutions have also confirmed that mindfulness-based programs induce actual structural brain changes, with the prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive function and emotional regulation, increasing in thickness by an average of 2.3 millimeters after just 8 weeks of practice. It's important to note that while these findings are incredibly promising, research also has its limitations. Individual responses vary, and what works wonderfully for one person might be less effective for another. The scientific community is still learning about optimal treatment combinations and durations. However, meta-analyses of over 100 studies demonstrate that neuroplasticity-based interventions produce lasting changes, with benefits maintained at 12-month follow-ups in 78% of participants. This suggests that the changes we're talking about aren't just temporary fixes but can lead to long-term improvements. Now that we understand the science, let's explore practical methods you can start implementing today. Remember, these are evidence-based techniques that have been shown to promote neuroplasticity and improve mental health, but it's essential to approach them within your comfort zone and seek professional guidance if you have any concerns. Let's begin with mindfulness exercises, which have been proven to increase prefrontal cortex density. Start with just 10 minutes daily. You don't need to be perfect at this. Sit comfortably somewhere quiet, and focus on your breath. Count 4 as you breathe in, then 6 as you breathe out. This specific breathing pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, promoting calm. When thoughts arise, and they will, that's completely normal. Gently return your attention to breathing without judging yourself. Research shows that even people who think they're bad at meditation still experience brain changes from consistent practice. Another powerful technique is cognitive restructuring, which helps rewire those stubborn negative thought patterns. Here's how to do it safely and effectively. When you notice a negative thought, write it down exactly as it appears in your mind. Then, challenge it with evidence-based alternatives. For example, if you think, "I always mess everything up," look for specific evidence that contradicts this. Can you think of 3 things you did well this week, no matter how small? Research indicates that this practice can rewire maladaptive neural pathways within 6 to 8 weeks of consistent practice. But here's the key: be patient with yourself. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. Digital mental health apps can be incredibly helpful tools when chosen carefully. Start by using mood tracking features to identify your patterns. You might discover triggers or positive influences you hadn't noticed before. Engage with guided CBT exercises for just 15 minutes daily. Many apps offer free versions that are quite effective. Complete weekly progress assessments, not to judge yourself, but to celebrate small wins and adjust your approach as needed. Remember, using these tools is meant to support you, not add pressure to your life. Behavioral activation is another scientifically backed approach that creates new positive neural pathways. Schedule 3 pleasurable activities each week. They don't have to be big or expensive. It could be as simple as enjoying a cup of tea mindfully, taking a short walk, or calling a friend. Gradually increase the complexity of these activities as your mood improves. Make sure each activity engages different senses. This maximizes neural stimulation and helps your brain build new, healthier patterns. Sleep hygiene is crucial for brain repair and mental health. Maintain consistent sleep and wake times, even on weekends, keeping them within a 30-minute window. Your brain thrives on routine. Avoid screens for 90 minutes before bed. The blue light interferes with melatonin production. Keep your bedroom temperature between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which research shows is optimal for sleep. Practice progressive muscle relaxation. Starting from your toes, tense each muscle group for 5 seconds, then release, working your way up to your head. This technique has been shown to reduce the time it takes to fall asleep by an average of 10 minutes. Finally, let's talk about social connections, which research confirms can directly reduce amygdala stress reactivity. Schedule at least one meaningful conversation each week. Quality matters more than quantity. Consider joining a support group that uses evidence-based formats. Many are available online now, making them more accessible. Practice active listening techniques. Maintain eye contact if comfortable, reflect back what you hear, and ask open-ended questions. These practices strengthen neural empathy circuits and help build the social support that's so crucial for mental health recovery. If you find any of these methods overwhelming or if symptoms worsen, please don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional. There's no shame in needing additional support. In fact, recognizing when you need help is a sign of strength and self-awareness. Now, let me summarize the key points we've discussed today. These are the essential takeaways I hope you'll remember. First, neuroplasticity enables brain healing at any age. Your brain never loses its capacity to change and improve. Second, digital interventions can amplify traditional treatment effectiveness significantly when used appropriately. Third, mindfulness practices physically restructure fear-processing brain regions, making you more resilient to stress. Fourth, cognitive restructuring can rewire negative thought patterns permanently with consistent practice. Fifth, behavioral activation creates new positive neural pathways through pleasurable, meaningful activities. And sixth, social connections directly reduce amygdala stress reactivity, highlighting the importance of maintaining relationships even when it feels difficult. As we come to the end of today's discussion, I want to leave you with a message of realistic hope. Your brain's remarkable capacity for change means that recovery from mental health challenges is not just possible, it's biologically programmed within you. The scientific evidence is clear. By combining neuroplasticity principles with modern interventions, you can literally reshape your brain for better mental health. But remember, this is a journey that unfolds at its own pace. There's no rush, no competition, and no perfection required. Start with just one technique that resonates with you today. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes to practice mindful breathing, or perhaps it's scheduling one pleasant activity for this week. Whatever you choose, know that you're taking a scientifically supported step toward better mental health. Your journey toward wellness begins with that single step, and each small action creates ripples of positive change in your brain. Please remember that this video provides educational information based on scientific research, but it's not a substitute for professional medical or psychological treatment. If you're experiencing severe symptoms or having thoughts of self-harm, please reach out to a mental health professional or crisis helpline immediately. If today's content provided any support or insight, please consider hitting the like button. It helps others find this information who might benefit from it too. Subscribe to Safe Haven Radio to continue learning about mental health and neuroscience together. May your hearts feel a little lighter after our time together today. Thank you so much for listening to Safe Haven Radio. Until next time, be gentle with yourself and remember that healing is always possible.